Welcome to last week's K-pop news for the third week of February 2019. My name is Prasha and I will be your guide to this much more serious episode. First up, let's start with something lighthearted, new releases. For first song, I will honestly say I'm not really sure when this song came out since I saw way older performances of it, but the music video came out 3 days ago, so yeah, I count it as new. It's Hala Hala by Ateen. Not to get confused with Hala from Dragon Age, but I will say, the song is a lot funnier if you think they're talking about deers. The song was good though. There's no mullets this time, which was a vast improvement from the last Ateen song we covered. And as a dancer, I have to shout them out for dancing with masks on. It's really fucking hard to dance when you can't breathe. In new releases that isn't a music video, I Am from Monster Act made an audiobook, and I am so here for it. The audiobook is 56 minutes, with half of it being in English and the other half in Korean. It's part of their very extensive teasers for the next comeback. Honestly, I really like it. For somebody who is not overly fond of overly American speech patterns, looking at you, Namjoon, I find Jungkook's very nice. And yes, I know that both have Korean accents and not Americans. What I mean is the way that they pronounce certain words and string together sentences. Now we will just run through a few quick ones. ONF made a comeback with We Must Love. Song is good, but the fact that I'm colorblind definitely ruined the video for me with all the crashing greens and blues. Chen, the vocalist of EXO, released the OST Make It Count for the drama Touch Your Heart. Another drama that I honestly have no plan of watching. But hey, he's such a good singer, so I will give him that. Loco returned with the single It's Been a While. Which yes it has, featuring T. I recommend this song for studying, it's very chill. Jungkook, now known as UK from 24K, made his debut with What You Want. It was stupidly hard to find information about this, just cause the search terms were so terrible. The company should hire somebody who actually understands branding. But again, it was a chill song. Now we have come to the worst part of this. It's time for the weekly news. For this week we won't cover multiple stories. Instead we will cover one story, and it is important for me to say a few things before I start it. I won't try to be funny telling this, I won't make any jokes at all. Something else, I will be referring to old acts as alleged. The reason for this is while I am pretty sure that everything I'm about to report is true. Companies like this are also companies who like to sue people for slander, anybody who say anything about them. While I don't assume they will ever see this, I'm not gonna risk it. So let's start with a little background. Ateen is a 10-man group under DS&A Entertainment. They have 2 former Produce 101 members, and they were set to first debut in Japan in September, and then afterwards be doing a Korean debut in January. They were set to have a track by Dwayne and choreographed by Dobu. It has been reported that 6 members of the group has been sexually assaulted. This was either by a CEO or investor's wife. On the 18th of January, 6 members filed a complaint with the Central District Attorney, alleging sexual assault. It has taken many days before this reached the international community, and I could track the first post to about 2 different Twitter accounts and an old Kpop article. I then tracked most of what I managed to find to a YTN article, which will be linked below, but it is in Korean and I needed to find a friend to translate it for me. At this point, I find it very important to point out that this exact screenshot, which is being passed around by a lot of people while talking about this, and is even used in articles, is not from the group's real Instagram. This is from a fan account. I think we have all seen the article of K-pop group screaming for help from their fans. This is not by Ateen. This is a fan account. This is why it's really important that every time you read an article, you check the sources and check if what they're reporting is actually true. Specifically on sites like All K-pop and Koreaboo, this is just a problem that run rampant. This takes away from the really real problem and brings it over to this muddy subject where we struggle to know what is actually real and what isn't. I will now read a little bit of the testimony given by the trainees, which, if I may remind you, some are underage. I won't be reading all of it, but I will link to all of what was transcribed. And I cannot say this enough, if you're easily triggered by anything that has to do with sexual assault or has any bad memories with it, I would recommend to skip to the timecode that I'm flashing on the screen now. Trainee 1. Accuser. The president's wives and representatives has sexually harassed 6 of us, including me, at a dinner. It was really hard, but I keep it in myself, and if I let it out, I won't be able to debut again. I don't want it to go to waste. Ever since I was 17, I have had a panic disorder, and I've been receiving treatment. I thought about giving up my dream to become a singer. Trainee 2. Accuser. I don't know what to do after I was sexually harassed in the restaurant. The mental stress is too much. I'm a positive and hardworking person, and has been attending a psychiatrist treatment and taking medication. Sometimes I feel uneasy, and my hands tremble, and I feel ashamed. I'm sensitive in everything, and has been living in pain. Trainee 3. Accuser. I'm also currently been attending a psychiatrist. I'm taking sleeping pills because I have insomnia. I thought I just want to get out of this company. Trainee 4. Accuser. I've been living with my dream of becoming an idol for 10 years. I thought I was really gonna quit it after being molested. I have doubts now because of what I've seen in the entertainment industry. Trainee 5. Accuser. I was as young was harassed in the restaurant. I'm still a minor. It's like my head really turned blank. Being an idol is a dream I had from my junior high school. But I thought it's the reality of the entertainment industry. I've been having a very painful time. Trainee 1. Accuser. The daughter of the president was also in the restaurant during that time. She even says, "Mom, please stop," while witnessing the sexual harassment. While I, of course, can't know if these allegations are true, as the company are claiming them to be false, and coming from the fact that they are trying to negotiate a contract. But I do not think these are unreasonable claims, nor unlikely claims. From Eastlight getting physically abused to a CEO getting 10 years of jail time assaulting female trainees. It's not like this is gonna be something big new we have never heard about. This is not an isolated case. This is a thing that keeps happening, and the reason why I want to spend so much time on this is how much this got ignored by the international community. We're so fast on calling out idols for doing bad shit, but we're often slow to having the idols back when they need us the most. Think about it for a second. This news only really hit us as an international community in early February. But also think about the fact that this case was filed on the 18th of January. And it wasn't like there was no news about it, but nobody actually acted on it. And when people started acting on it, they started claiming false shit. I saw people trying to discredit this, because it was males as victims, not females. Because the action was done by a woman? And honestly, I'm not surprised. This is the world we live in, where male victims are taken less serious based on the fact that they're males. I understand, and I get it, that more women get assaulted on a daily or even weekly basis. But we can't discredit male victims like this. Yes, horrible people can be women as well. So if you're one of the people who thinks like that, instead think of it this way. Multiple minors was allegedly sexually assaulted by a person in a position of power. And it took us 2 weeks before we even pretended to care. Honestly, there's more news this week. But for now, I'm gonna end it here. Thank you for watching last week's K-pop news for the second week of February. I hope we're back to normal next week.